Welcome to another episode of Roll Up a Power Up. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured. Alright, now what we here on today, Mr. Roll Up? Well, today we gonna talk about the singer David and the type of time he be on. How about that? Now, before we get into this whole situation, I want to show y'all a clip of this guy DJ Academics and what type of time he on. How about that? Now look, I'm not gonna play the whole clip or nothing like that. I'm gonna just show y'all the title of it. Okay? Now y'all see, this is an interview that DJ Academics did with DJ Vlad. The captions say, DJ Academics, prosecutors don't have much evidence to convict David for killing Celeste. All right. Now let me tell y'all something, right? I didn't watch that clip. Y'all go back and look at it again. You can see that it just got posted, 22 hours ago. Y'all know Mr. Roll Up freestyle everything, right? With that being said, the reason why I didn't watch that clip, because I don't like Academics. You know what I'm saying? I can't get with his content. I don't like the way how he talk, none of that shit. I don't fuck with him. So I'm not watching that shit. How about that? Now, this is what I can say. Just off the title alone, let me know what type of person he is. Evidently, Academics ain't been in jail long enough to understand how the law works. You know what I'm saying? To say that the prosecutors don't have much evidence on him. You know what I'm saying? His ass tweaking, bro. How about that? I got the Tito's. How about that? We gonna pull up for this one. Y'all ass be tweaking, bro. Yes, it's the Tito's. Y'all ass tweaking, bro. All right. Now, back to what I was saying about Academics. I'm gonna break down this shit with Academics, and then I'm gonna go into the situation. I want to get this out the way first, so that way what I got to say about this Davis situation corroborate against what type of time Academics on, right? Okay, so first off, right, he's saying that they don't got much evidence on David. I did a whole live about this David situation when he first got locked up. Actually, I did a video on this shit like a year ago when they first started talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we up to date now, right? David locked up. They done brought out all this evidence against him, and his ass is headed to trial for this murder case against Celeste Rivera, right? Now you got Academics on a DJ Vlad saying that basically David gonna beat his case and the prosecutors don't got enough evidence on him. Listen, right? Before we get into all the evidence, let me say this, right? When guys go to jail, they always say that they don't got enough evidence on me. I'm innocent. I'm gonna beat my case, right? That's what anybody that go to jail says, right? Anybody. When they call home from jail and you like, hey, what's going on with your case? How is it looking? Blah, 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 right? This is what a nigga that call home is gonna tell you. They don't got no evidence. I'm innocent. I'll be home soon, right? Regardless of the dude knowing that they got all the evidence that they need on him, he know he guilty, all of that. He's still gonna call home and tell you he coming home. Now I know I'm derailing. Y'all probably like, what do this got to do with David? Listen, y'all know I derail, but I corroborate everything. So just follow it, right? So anyway, you got guys that catch cases and they call home and tell their people, yeah, I'm gonna beat my case. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'll be home soon. Why is that, Mr. Roll Up? Even when they know they guilty, you know they guilty, everybody know they guilty, they still gonna call home and say they innocent. Why is that, Mr. Roll Up? Well, look, I'm gonna give y'all two reasons, right? First reason, you as, what can you say, a jailbird, a convict, you know what I'm saying? You in jail, right? When you in jail with other people that's in jail, y'all all in jail together, y'all all kind of like move on one accord, right? Meaning that it's like y'all versus the world, y'all versus the jail system, right? Because that's your environment, that's who you around, these the group of people you got to deal with. So it's kind of like y'all versus whoever at this point, right? So when you get behind the walls, you know what I'm saying, and you around all these jailbirds, they force you to believe that, yeah, you innocent. I'm innocent, he innocent, he innocent, he innocent, we all innocent. We got to prove our innocence. Regardless of everybody in that bitch knowing they all guilty. But this is the mentality that they have while they in jail. We innocent, we got to find a loophole out this shit to get out. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, they tell each other this all day long. I'm innocent, you innocent, yeah. This how you could beat your case, this how I'm gonna beat my case, right? So they put this motion in their head that they innocent and they know that they guilty, right? It's just jail politics. That's just how it go. The way how they look at it is if they say that I'm innocent, I'm innocent, I'm innocent, they gonna speak it into existence and they gonna get found innocent. You know what I'm saying? This is jailhouse thinking, right? So that's one reason why they call home and say that they innocent, because the environment they in is telling them, yeah, you innocent, bro. Oh, they don't got this, they don't got that. Yeah, you gonna beat that, you gonna beat this. Woo woo. So when they get to calling home, they believe in that shit that these niggas in jail telling them. Like, yeah, I'm about to beat this shit. They don't got this, they don't know that, blah, 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 right? That's reason number one. It's a mental thing going on in jail, right? The reason number two is because of this, right? You call home, you call your homeboy Lil TJ or whatever, you know, somebody you trust in, you know this your homie, you know he ain't gonna say shit, none of that, right? And you want to call him so bad and tell him like, dog, I just got my discovery pack. Discovery pack is basically a thick ass booklet of papers of evidence that they got on you, right? It's called a discovery pack. So you call Lil TJ like, dog, man, they got my discovery pack, bro. Man, they got the gun. Man, they got the body. You know what I'm saying? Keisha from across the street, she testifying. It's over, dog. I'm guilty. They got me. A nigga ain't gonna never do that. Why is that, Mr. Roll Up? Because them phone calls are being recorded. You know what I'm saying? So a motherfucker ain't gonna never call home and tell you like, yeah, they got everything, they know everything, I'm done. The only way that's gonna happen is if he already get found guilty or he just take a guilty plea because he know they got too much on him. And then he accepts his guilty plea, the judge sends him, then he'll call home like, yeah, man, it's over with, they got me, I pled guilty. You know, they talking about they can give me this and that. If I plead guilty to it, I'm going to just go ahead and do it. That's the only time a nigga going to do that. When a nigga case is fresh, he going to claim innocent the whole time. Even if he got caught red-handed. He just going to claim his innocence. That's the environment that you in. You know what I'm saying? Nah, with all that being said, right, them the two main reasons why a motherfucker going to call home and tell you he innocent. Regardless if he innocent or not. This is why he gonna do that, right? All right, now let's bag it up to this whole DJ Academics situation, right? again, I ain't watched that clip. Y'all can watch it for me. Y'all can come back, jump in the comments. Y'all can tell me what he said, whatever. I'm not watching that shit, right? So anyway, with that being said, this is probably why academics is saying they don't got enough evidence on them. You know what I'm saying? Because of the way how the system works. You're innocent until proven guilty. So he might be looking at it, oh man, they don't really got nothing on, woo, woo. You know, like I said, I ain't watched the interview, so I don't know what the fuck he said. But it's just the whole fact that he said that, just go to show and prove, his ass ain't been in jail for real. He don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody that been in jail, been in that law library, things like that, they know the law and how evidence works. So for him to say that the prosecutor don't got much evidence, he don't know shit. Or he just being another content creator, basically rebuttaling what everybody else is saying for views and likes and shit like that. And be quite honest, I mean, I can't be mad at it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to create their content how they do it, you know? But the honest guy truth is, they got way more than enough evidence on David. How you figure that, Mr. Roll Up? Well, again, you know this Mr. Roll Up Freestyle. I'm just give y'all what's up here about the whole situation. And everything that I'm saying is facts, is videos on this shit. Y'all can go check it out, look at everything that I'm about to say. I just freestyle it, right? Okay. So let's start with the top. Let's start from the top with the David situation. We got academics out the way with his goofy ass shit he talking about. Now let's get down to the tomahawk steak well done and the mashed potatoes of this shit. Let's get to that, right? So now, with the singer David being locked up, right? He locked up for the murder of Celeste Rivera, right? And before I go there, let me say this, you know, rest in peace to Celeste, you know, may God rest her soul, and, you know, our thoughts and prayers with her family. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I don't play about kids. I'm not one of them. I do not play with the kids, and I don't play about them, right? Okay, so again, we sending our thoughts and prayers with her family, right? Okay. Now, Celeste was 11 years old when her and David met. David was 16. She was 11. This was around the time he blew up or whatnot. You know, he was getting his career going, blah, 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 whatever the situation was, right? This was back in like 2022, 2021, 22, something like that. Y'all know my time be off, but I don't lie about shit, right? So around this time, he meet her on some fan shit, right? She a fan of his music. He meet her, he like her. They get to talking, blah, 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 right? David and Celeste was, you know, communicating for 2 years before they started getting intimate. So from the time she was 11 till she was 13, they was just communicating, right? When she turned 13, at this point, he 18 now. So he got 5 years on her the whole time, right? He know better. He know what's going on, all this shit. He is a grown adult at this point. He's 18, she's 13, right? He started getting intimate with her. At the age of 13, he intimate with Celeste, right? Well, with that being said, they messing around, doing what they doing. You know, they texting each other back and forth, calling each other, whatever. She coming to his house. He taking her, you know, to different concerts and all type of shit. He being seen with her. He even have a live with her. You know what I'm saying? He went live and she was in the live video with him. Y'all can go check that out on 1090J page, End of Sentence. He did a video on this David situation, and he got the actual live clip of David and Celeste, you know what I'm saying, in his video. So y'all can go check that out and see exactly what I'm talking about, right? Okay. So it's evidence that David has contact with this minor, right? Just off of that alone, right? Well, with that being said, Celeste ended up getting pregnant, right? She get pregnant, she tell him. Well, now they trying to figure out abortion, plan B, all type of shit, right? In the mix of all of this, Celeste is looking at David like this her man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to take this to the next level. I'm tired of us just being intimate. You know, let's be a thing for real, right? David ain't on it. You know what I'm saying? He 18, he popping, he doing this motherfucking thing. You know, he not trying to be in a relationship with a 13-year-old. He just had a fetish for a child or whatever, and, you know, he did what he did with her, you know, type shit. Well, Celeste ain't having it. You know, she like, hey, either we make this official and, you know, we start like, you know, being out in public, like publicly and, you know, all of that type of shit, or I'm going to ruin your career and I'm going to tell on you. You know what I'm saying? At this point, David, he blowing up, he doing good, he on tour, you know, he building a big audience, blah, 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 blah. Well, he like, shit, I can't have that. You know what I'm saying? So they going back and forth or whatever. Next thing you know, she come up missing. Her family is looking for her. She missing, right? So, of course, they put out a missing report on her and all of that, right? Well, with that being said, the police had to talk to Celeste's mama. Celeste's mama tell the police, hey, yeah, she got a boyfriend named David. He drive a black Tesla, blah, 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 right? So they connect the dots. Boom, they go holler at David. They go to his house, right? They go to his house. They tell him, hey, you know, this girl Celeste missing. Y'all got a connection. What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. He playing stupid like he don't know what the fuck going on, right? So they tell him, they like, okay, well, you do know she is 13. You know what I'm saying? So the police let him know that she is a minor. So whatever you doing with her, you need to get away from her because she is a child. You know what I'm saying? How about that? Anytime the police make contact with you, 9 times out of 10, they pulling out that notepad and that pen and they taking down notes. It's a part of the investigation. So with that being said, when they went to go holler at David, oh, they pulled that notepad out and they took down notes for the investigation. Meaning they got his name, they made contact with him, he said this and this about the situation, blah, 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 blah. They got all this on their notepad, right? And they got body cam. You know what I'm saying? Well, with that being said, they let him know she a minor, you know, stay away from her, blah, 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 right? So the police leave his home. Wherever Celeste was, 9 times out of 10, she probably was in his house, you know, or probably somewhere around his house. Whatever it was, 9 times out of 10, David knew where she was, right? So after this, David tells Celeste, hey, you got to go back home. They looking for you, the police out here, blah, 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 right? Okay. So she go back home. Celeste's parents take her phone. They took her phone from her. Hey, run it. You know, I'm pretty sure they went through it, so all the messages, calls, whatever, you know. All right, that's over with. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, the police is involved. They know what's going on. It's over with on it. So they took her phone. She don't got no phone no more, right? And mind you, she 13. So, of course, she going to school, things like that. David pull up to her school with a new phone and $1,000. He give one of her classmates the phone and $1,000. He said, hey, he go $1,000 for you. Just get his phone to her, right? This was his way of bribing, you know, the classmate to give her the phone. So he gave the classmate $1,000, told him to hand her the phone. The classmate did. So now she got another phone. Her and David texting on his new phone, right? Y'all do know that the fact that he made contact with one of her classmates, that is evidence itself. Just the fact he made contact with one of her classmates. Why you figure that, Mr. Roll-Up? Well, when this trial and all this shit go on, guess what? 9 times out of 10, they probably gonna have their classmate get on the stand and testify that, yeah, David gave me this phone and $1,000 to give it to Celeste Rivera. That's corroborating evidence. Y'all ass tweaking, bro. Nah, you get deeper than that. That's just the surface of it. You know what I'm saying? That's just the surface, right? So Celeste get the phone. Her and David going back and forth, all this shit, right? Again, Celeste coming at him again. Hey, you know what's up? Whoopty whoop. Come up off of, you know, this whole persona that we just messing around and let it be known that we dead, or I'm gonna ruin your ass. You know what I'm saying? He sends her a Uber. Evidence. He was better off going to pick her up in a whole nother car or some shit. He sent her an Uber to his home. So that's evidence alone. Just paying for the Uber, all of that is tracked. It's all a track record. It's technology. You know what I'm saying? He sent an Uber to her home to pick her up and bring her from her home to his home. That's evidence, right? Okay. She get to his house. Soon as she come in the house, he stabbed her to death. Killed her. Right there, right? After he killed her, I don't know when he made the order, if he made the order before he killed her or after he killed her, however it happened. He made 2 orders. One order was to Home Depot for a shovel. The other order was to Amazon for 2 chainsaws, an inflatable pool, you know, like your backyard pool, you let the kids play in and shit like that, and a body bag. Amazon, y'all bold for letting people buy body bags. You know what I'm saying? That shit should be strictly for like morticians, autopsy people, you know, people with that field. How the fuck you just can order a damn body bag off Amazon? Y'all ass tweaking, bro. Nah. Anyway, with that being said, that's evidence. So he put in these orders. A shovel, 2 chainsaws, 2 chainsaws. I don't know why you needed 2, but 2 chainsaws, an inflatable pool, a body bag, right? All delivered to his door. Now, he didn't place the order under his name, but the order went to his door. That's evidence, right? So he get his package, or he already had the package, however it happened, right? He put her body in the pool, of course, so it won't be blood everywhere. I don't know exactly how the situation went, but these is all facts. Y'all can look all this shit up, right? He put her body in the pool. He chainsawed her arms, legs, her limbs off, all of that, right? All that's left is her torso and her head. He put that in the body bag. Now the limbs and stuff, I'm not sure where he put that, but it was separate from the torso and the head, right? He put the damn body bag in the trunk of his car, which is a Tesla. Y'all know Mr. Roller, I done had 5 Teslas. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just seen me in the Model X. Like, I fuck with Teslas, but then I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't like all that charging shit. But with all that being said, Mr. Roller can tell you about Teslas, bro. Y'all ass tweaking. First of all, if you know anything about a Tesla, right? Teslas don't have engines, transmissions, alternators, starters, none of that shit. A Tesla is like a phone on wheels. It runs off a battery. That's why you got to charge it. It runs off a battery, right? For one. For two, it's controlled by cameras. It's cameras all around the car. Like literally. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, David put her body in the trunk of a Tesla. Now, like I was saying, with these Teslas, they don't got no engines, transmissions, things like that. So it got two trunks. It got a trunk in the front and they got the trunk in the back, right? The trunk in the front is like a little bitty box, you know, like you can see some shit in there, like some speakers, some clothes, blah, 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 where the engine would be, right? They call that the frunk, meaning it's the front trunk, right? They call it a frunk. It's some foreign shit, right? So David put her body in that body bag in the front of his Tesla with the cameras all around it. How about that? All this allegedly, you know what I'm saying? Well, he put her body in the trunk after he cut her up, all this shit, right? He put her in the trunk. He drove the car around the corner, 1 block around the corner from his house, and parked the car on the street, right? He parked the car on the street, left it there, went on about his business. This is out in LA. LA got a rule where you only can leave your car on the street for 72 hours, right? This car went past the deadline. So the police came out, ticketed, all of that shit. Car's still there. They came back, they towed the damn car, right? They towed the car, put it on the impound lot. That's the pull up. Anyway, with that being said, the car's sitting on the impound lot. It's LA, it's hot as hell. It's 90 degrees every day out there, right? So of course it's flies flying around the damn car. It got a smell to it, all type of shit, right? So the tow owners, they go out there to go check on it. Like, it's flies around, it stank, whoop-de-whoop, right? They pop the damn frunk of the Tesla, and it's a body bag. They open the damn body bag, it's a decomposed body. The body is decomposing, it's almost gone, right? Well, it ain't gone yet. So, of course, they call the coroners in and all of that, you know, to come get the body and all that shit, right? They do an autopsy on it. Even though the body is badly decomposed, you do know that you still can be identified. You can be identified off your hair, your teeth, fingernails, shit like that, right? Well, they identified her off her teeth. She still had her teeth in her mouth, right? Boom, it's Celeste. They've been looking for her again, because of course she came up missing again because she got murdered, right? Well, they found her. She in this damn body bag that's in the front of David's Tesla. Okay. At this point, they called David. Hey, you know, it's a dead body found in your car. You know what I'm saying? You know about that? Whoop-de-whoop. At this point, he on tour in a whole nother country. You know, he playing stupid, like he don't know what the fuck going on, all of that. So they like, all right, you know, pieced him out, whatever, right? Right after that, he canceled all his next tour dates that was coming. He canceled all this shit, right? This is when I made a video about it. Like I said, this was about a year ago. I made this video then saying, hey, dog, you know what I'm saying? In a Tesla, like, that Tesla alone gonna tell on him. Again, y'all can go check out the video. I did this a year ago. Y'all can go check out that video. You know what I'm saying? Nah, he canceled everything. He ended up coming back to the States. Of course, the feds watching him. They on his ass, all of that. This is probably why he canceled his tour dates, because he knew they would have came and picked him up from there, you know. So he canceled everything, tried to lay low or whatever, came back, went to jail. So now his ass in jail, right? Well, now more shit is coming out about him. Okay, what's new, Mr. Roll Up? Well, remember when I was talking about that chainsaw, the pool, and all of that shit? When they found her body in his car, right? They got a search warrant to his home. When the police feel like they got enough evidence on you, they can go to the court system and have a judge give them a search warrant to your home. When they feel like they got enough on you, they present it to the judge. If the judge say, hey, it's a go, the judge accept it and write out a warrant to search your home, right? So that means that when the police show up to your house with that search warrant, they don't got to talk to you. They don't got to knock on your door. They don't got to make peace with you. They don't got to do none of that. They can kick your shit in and go right in your shit. They have a search warrant. They have enough evidence or whatever it is, how the system works. They have enough to kick your door in. That's what they did. They ran up in David's shit. They have a search warrant. Again, they found a damn dead body in his fucking car. So they got enough evidence to go search his house now. Hey, hold on. We found the whole dead body in your car. We can floss your teeth at this point. You know what I'm saying? So they run up in David's house. Evidently, he wasn't there or whatnot. They ran up in his crib, right? What they find? The chainsaws, the damn pool. That's evidence, right? Y'all ass be tweaking, bro. Nah, I gotta pull up. Y'all ass tweaking, bro. This is what I mean about what Academics was saying on that Vlad interview he did. He don't know shit. Because they got more than enough evidence on this guy. Nah. They got the tools that he used to commit this crime. They got her body in his car. They got all the text messages in between the two. It's technology. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have to look hard or far to find the messages, right? They got all this shit. Now his ass locked up. You know what I'm saying? That is more than enough evidence to convict this guy. Way more than enough. It's actually too much evidence. They got the tools that was used, her body, his messages in between him and her. It's over with. Not only that, they have track record of him sending the damn Uber to her house to pick her up from her house to send her to his house on the day she was last seen. DJ Academics, your ass a goofy. You don't know shit. Because what is you talking about? They don't got enough evidence to convict him. And bro, if nothing else, just the fact that they found her in his car, that's more than enough evidence itself. If they didn't find her body, maybe he would have a chance. They found her body, meaning that they can ballistic it, autopsy it. They doing all of it. You know what I'm saying? That's how they know that he stabbed her. That's how they know he chainsawed her, all of that. They ballistic and autopsy the fuck out of her body, bro. Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? But they did all of the work that they had to do by having her body. That's the evidence. The body is the evidence, bro. I don't know if y'all know, but when a person dies, their body tells what happened to them. Yeah, that might sound crazy, Mr. Roll-Up, but it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? That's why they have to do an autopsy and do ballistics and things like that on the body. Because the body tells them what happened to them. You know what I'm saying? So when they got to doing everything that they needed to do on that body, Celeste's body told them, hey, David did this to me. Or if it wasn't David himself, it was somebody a part of his crew, somebody he know. Whatever it was, They did this to me. Now it's up to y'all to prove it. But they did this to me. That's how the body talks to these people, straight up. Through the technology and, everything that they got to do to properly, what can you say, examine the body. That's how this shit go. That's how they find out who killed who did what. That's how they find out the body, bro. The body tell them everything, man. So again, for them not only finding the body, and they found the body in his car, that's more than enough evidence itself, right? Now let's flip it. Let's just say David didn't do this, right? Let's just say he didn't. Me, you ask Mr. Roll Up, I say he did it. It's over. You know what I'm saying? But let's just say he didn't, right? Let's look at it on that side. If he didn't do it, do you know what the system is going to do with David? How they going to come down on him? The interrogators, investigators, blah, 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 right? They going to be like, okay, well, you didn't do it. Who did it? Somebody had access to your home to commit a murder in. Somebody had access to your car to put that dead body in. Who was it? Oh, I don't know who it was. Oh, okay, you don't know who it was? Well, you about to go down for it. Flat out. Because it happened in your home and her body was found in your car. So even if you didn't do it, if you don't want to give up who did it, you're going down for it. Flat out. And they got the weapons. They got text messages. Like, what? And if they want to put the icing on the cake, the cherry on the top, and all of that, all they got to do is bring in that classmate that he gave that $1,000 in that phone to. And they going to corroborate that with this whole situation. So again, even if you didn't do it, who did you let do this? Because they got proof that you've been communicating with her. They got all the proof on that. Okay, so they know that you making contact with her. You, even after the police came to your house and told you she is a 13-year-old, you still was making contact with her. They got proof of all of that. So if you didn't kill her yourself, who did? It's either you gonna go down for it or whoever did it is going down for it. You know what I'm saying? That's where David is at right now. Believe it or not. That's how them investigators is coming at him right now. You know what I'm saying? But again, I 98% believe that he did this shit. You know what I'm saying? I say 98% because, ain't nothing 100% and 99% a little too close to 100%. So I'm going to just give it 98%. You know what I'm saying? How about that? Y'all is tweaking, bro. So anyway, with all that being said, this guy David, he's cooked. He cooked himself. He left behind a big ass trail that he cannot clean up. You know what I'm saying? So, you ask me, they about to give his ass life in prison. Of course, it's over with. And from what I'm hearing is he looking at the death penalty. You know what I'm saying? So if they give him the death penalty, he gonna be on death row for like 15 to 20 years. He gonna lose his mind up in there. You know what I'm saying? And just to say, if they don't put him on death row, because, when you on death row, you in your own cell and shit with nothing, no TV, no nothing. You just sitting in the cell by yourself all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he don't get death row and he just get life in prison, guess what? He gonna be in the cell with somebody. And guess who he gonna be in the cell with? Damon from Friday at the Next or Green Mile. How you figure that, Mr. Roll Up? Well, when you had high profile cases like that, you got to think the COs in there, they humans just like us. They don't like people that mess with kids and do shit like that. So they had a power to put you in the cell with a Damon or a Green Mile. It ain't nothing. Even if you was assigned to a cell with a little bitty guy look like Bob the Builder or something, they could reassign you to a cell with Damon or Green Mile. And that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to put him in the cell with one of them if he get life in prison because of what he did. And they going to let that Damon or that Green Mile shred his ass the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? So either way it go, David is fucked. He out of there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ass tweaking, bro. So let me wrap this up, right? It's too much evidence on him. He left a trail. You know, I believe he shouldn't have never messed around with her in the first place. Like, you blowing up, you know what I'm saying? You could have had any woman you wanted. You know what I'm saying? I don't get why he went for that. But he did. He got her pregnant. She tried to expose him. He fucked himself. He thought the best route was to knock her off. If you ask me, if she wasn't going for it, you know, abortion or, you know, whatever the case is, I feel like what he should have did was he should have, you know, abided by her rules. You know what I'm saying? At least till she was like 18 or something. You know, you already started messing with her at the age of 11. Like, and then you made communication with her for 2 whole years before you even did anything with her. Well, now you at a point where you being intimate with her and you having a kid with her. So you might as well just go ahead and saddle up and, you know, lay her up in the crib and, you know, make sure y'all kids straight and just go about it that way. Everybody would have called you a pedophile, you know what I'm saying? Fuck you, woo, woo. If people would have known about it, you know, might have went to jail or something, did a little jail time, maybe. But you would have had your life. You know what I'm saying? Now you don't got nothing. You killed this young lady for nothing. For something you did, something that you could have prevented. You know what I'm saying? But you thought you was being slick. You thought you was getting away with something. And God spanked that ass. Boom. He got her pregnant for you. You thought shit was sweet. Karma, a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So again, man, to any of y'all out there thinking like that, man, listen. You better leave them youngest alone, man. Because it's going to spin the block. And it's going to get your ass in the long run. And your ass might fuck around being a cell right next to David. How about that? Y'all ass be tweaking, bro. It's been another episode of Roll Up a Poet. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured.